Hey America, Dustin Mansell coming to you guys from Las Vegas, Nevada. And in this video, we're going to go over the Employee Retention Credit, also known as ERC. And I'm sure you guys have all heard about it. You guys, it's all over the radio. If you're a business owner, you're probably getting hit up nonstop about it. So I'm going to give you guys 3 red flags to keep an eye out before you move on forward with any company whatsoever, okay? But before I do that, click that subscribe button down below so you can be the first to be alerts when I go live about ERC, also known as the Employee Retention Credit, okay? So 3 red flags. As I mentioned, you guys have probably got emails about it. People have probably come knocking on your doors about it, text messages, you've heard it on the radio. People have called you guys about it, but there's 3 things that you wanna be on the lookout big time before you actually go with a pop-up firm or any firm at all and to get your retention credit back. Because imagine going, with your personal taxes, if you went to H&R Block, nothing against them. They've been around for years, but they're just in there to get that money, right? You give them whatever you want to, they're going to find whatever write-offs that you have, and then you go and you pay them a percentage, and then you get your money back. If you get a return, if you don't get a return, but if you were to go to a specialist, that specialist is going to go and they're going to really break down into what you could write off, right? Head of household, how many kids, gas, clothes, haircuts, right? They're getting a specialist, somebody's been around doing it for a long time will really get you as much money back. It's the same way with ERC, same thing. So the first thing you're going to want to watch out for, the first red flag, is pop-up firms. Now, what is a pop-up firm? A pop-up firm is somebody who is just heard about ERC. They heard this $400 billion that the government's giving homeowners or business owners for staying open during the pandemic, right? So like, man, I could get a chunk of this change and I'm going to go do this, but they're not that good. And one way you could spot them like this is going and getting their domain and putting them on the Whois. Now what is Whois? Well, Whois is a site that you could go to and you could put a domain in here and find out when that company opened. So what I did really quick is I did a search on Google. I just put in ERC credit, and one of the first ones that popped up where all these were sponsored, right? All came up as sponsored. So I go, all right, well, let's see how long they've been around for. I mean, have they been around for years to where we could really trust them to with our money? Well, this one here, they've been around since September 10th, 2021. That means right now, September 15th. They've been around for a little over a year. Would you trust that? I know I wouldn't, okay? Second one is right here. This is My Pro Tax Advisor. Now, they put the get in front of it, so that way it sends it, it's a subdomain, so it sends them to this right here, right? But let's go ahead and be sneaky and go to what their real domain is. Let's go to Whois. 2020. They've been around for a little over 2 years. Now, it's a little bit longer, but they still open this up when ERC happened. They're in here to get the quick dollar from ERC and bounce, in my opinion. And they're probably not going to be around if you get audited, right? If you get audited, then they're probably not going to be there. Another one is ERC Today. Now, obviously, there's probably these guys probably won't be around for 10 years because ERC Today, really, I mean, ERC wasn't around 3 years ago. So this one popped up, March 5th of 2021, last year of March. Are they specialists? I would probably say no. This one right here, boom. Let's see what this one is. Let's go right in here. And look at that. 2004. So June 2nd, 2004. Been around for almost 20 years. This domain has been around at least. So this one right here, I would trust in a heartbeat, and I would go with these guys. And actually, we did some research on this, right? And we're going to dive even deeper into this to show you guys exactly why this is a company you definitely want to pay attention to. And there's another company called ERC Specialist that's been around, obviously ERC. So let's see how long they've been around. We take their domain, I put their domain into here. They've been around for a little bit less than 2 years as well, right? Actually, about a year and a half. So is this somebody you want to go to that just opened up during ERC that maybe just learning tax, the tax credits, the tax benefits? I would say no. I'd run as far as I possibly can. Let's go ahead and get into the second red flag that you want to pay attention to. And that is going to be your contingency fee. How much you pay the firm to do all your filing for you. Now, if there's any firms that you've gone to and they're looking for money up front, run as fast as you can. You do not need to pay anybody up front to do your ERC filing for you. You just don't, okay? And if anybody's charging you over 20%, I would get out of there too. All right. And then make sure that you are paying attention to, even if they charge you 20 or 50%, how much they're getting you back per employee. Because most firms, most attorneys, most that I've seen, they're just taking a couple different documents from you, and they're just trying to do it as much as they can to get you through the system, get a paycheck from you, and move on. When you go to people that have been around doing this for years, they want all your documents so they get as much back for you as they possibly can. So red flag number 2, if they're looking for money right away, run. All right, anything over 20%, run. Okay, let's go in and get to number 3 here. So number 3, the third red flag here is the contingency fee. How much you're going to pay, right? And who you're going to go with, how to decide who you're going to go with. And let's go ahead and break that down right now. So as we were going through the the different firms, we ran into Lassiter, and I really like these guys here. Okay, I actually have a relationship with them as well, and they gave me permission to go ahead and talk about the services that they offer. So if you are looking for more information about them, for some people, a company's been around for over 40 years, and we're going to go and break down into them a little bit. Down below, there is a keyword, I think it's credit, that you can text into that toll-free number right there, and you'll get an automatic instant reply back from a toll-free number that'll give you a quick video that you can watch. And you could also schedule on my calendar a time to sit down with me. We can get in a Zoom. You can ask any questions that you want to really see, and if you have any real questions, and we could really break down what you can expect to get back. Okay, there's also a link in the description too. We could click on that, set up a Calendly with me, or you could call them direct. Just make sure that you said, ask for Dustin Mansell when you call them. That way you can get directly with me, and we can get this thing going for you. Okay, so let's go over a couple different things with Lassiter. So first off, they're generating 5 to 10 times the ERC refund amount on average thus far, which means that and it's 5 or 10 times more than other accounting firms, attorneys, bookkeepers, and those other people that are trying to apply themselves. Believe it, there's people that are trying to do this on their own. Like, why would you do this on your own? Even if you didn't have to charge a fee, you're not going to get as much back if you're doing it on your own. You just won't. Okay, so getting 5 to 10 times back in the refund, this greatly offsets the 20% contingency fee that they charge. Okay, so in fact, they're averaging nearly $21,000 per employee, and other accounting firms they're charging you about 25 to 40%. And we'll break that down here a little bit in a minute. Okay, so they're charging you 0 for retainer fees. That is key. You want to make sure that nobody's charging you right up front. And other CPAs are charging anywhere from $26,000 to $15,000 before they even begin the process. That means you're stuck with them. You pay them the money. They don't have to give you as much back at all because you've already paid them. Run as far as you can if somebody's trying to get you to pay up front. Okay. Also, since they're a licensed CPA firm with over 40 years of experience, they can offer long-term audit protection and $1 million errors and omissions liability insurance policy per client for the best peace of mind. All right. This means if you get audited in 5 to 10 years from now, you have them to lean back on that will go and they'll cover you. They have an insurance that will cover you. Okay. Really, really important. Also, they don't charge anything until after the clients receive their maximum ERC money. Okay, so that means at the end, when they get their money, that's when you pay your contingency fee. Okay, so what's a contingency fee? Well, it's simple. Let's just say you have 100 employees and your company qualified for the maximum, so $2.6 million. All right, which is $26,000 per employee. That means the firm would charge you a contingency fee of 20%. That's what Lassiter does. But others may charge you 25, 40%. Stay away from those guys. Okay, now you would pay $520,000 to the firm after you receive your credits. All right, that's what a contingency fee is. Now, let's go over why you should go with Lassiter and why I would and why I did. Okay, so let's say you have, they're averaging $21,000 per employee. So if you have 100 employees, and the average they're getting with them would be $2.1 million. Now, this is an example only. This isn't a guarantee. This isn't a promise. But I can promise you, once you talk with us and we get your documents, you'll see exactly what they could get you back. Okay. And it means that they're going to charge you 20%. All right. So once you get your credit back, you would then pay $420,000 and you would pocket $1.68 thousand or $1 million. So $1,680,000. Okay. Now, other firms, they're averaging $15,000 per employee, if that. Okay. So let's say you had 100 employees, you went with these other firms, these pop-up firms, right? Your company would then call, they would get you $1.5 million back. They're going to, even if they charge you $15,000, right? It doesn't matter because you're going to pay $225,000, but at the end of the day, you're going to get back less than what you would get back if you went with L&L. You just from these numbers right here, even if they charge you 10%, you're going to get back less than you would if you went with L&L, because L&L is going to get you the most money back. So there it is. Those are the 3 red flags that you want to keep an eye out for. If you haven't filed yet, and you're like, man, Dustin, all 3 of those red flags with this company I went with, it's not too late. If you haven't signed it, it's not too late. Okay. I would always go shop it and get a second opinion anyways. Even if you went with L&L, go get a second opinion, go see from somebody else. It's going to be time consuming. It will be. You're going to have to send in all your documents, and most of them aren't going to ask for the documents that we're sending, that we're requesting, because they don't know that you could get credits back from those documents that we're sending you. And I'm not going to even go over those right now to give anybody any more light bulbs, any other pop-up firms. Okay. But tell you this much, do not go get heart surgery from a knee specialist. Just don't. Go with somebody who's been around for a while and who will be around for a while, that knows what they're doing. And right now, down below, text in credit to 844-921-2100. And if you don't like what you get back, you could also just reply stop and you'll never hear from us. But you can get on the line with me or click the Calendly link down below as well. Jump on. We can jump on a little 10-15 minute Zoom or 10-15 minute call. Go over any questions that you want to. Do not let this pass you guys by. We got till about probably till about March of 2024 to get your maximum back right here. So don't meditate, don't marinate on this. You got to get at this as soon as possible. It takes, the big question we have too is how many weeks. It takes about 9 to 14 months to get your credit back right now, your check back. So if you wait another 3 months, you're just going to prolong it that much longer. So that being said, Dustin Mansell, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Don't be afraid to reach out to me, and we could go over any questions that you may have. Jump on to with the firm themselves, and they could ask you any deep questions too, or answer any deep questions as well. We'll go from there. Once again, Dustin Mansell checking out from Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll see you guys next time.